Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Well, we are out by Salina, Utah today, out in the desert. It is May, and well, it's getting a little warm for me at least. Well, what we're out here looking for today is stromatolite. There'll be more about exactly what a stromatolite is later, but let me show you how cool some of these things look. You see the bands in that? Yeah, that's a winner right there. Now, hopefully, we'll find some more stromatolite out here, and even some nicer stromatolite, because you know I want the bands. I want to be able to cut some of this stuff, polish it up. It should be pretty good. Sarah's also my sun shirt twin today. Don't get us confused.
Yeah.
We need a blue shirt for the dog. That's the next step.
Oh.
So let's check this place out. It's gorgeous out here. Perfect day. It's kind of hot for me. I don't know. It's always hot for me. No one around except for a couple of viewers of the channel who I ran into out here on the road. Now we're out here together. Now I just saw a stromatolite right there. Well, that piece is a little scraggly and a little not cool like this. That's a good piece. And of course, Sarah found it. All the credit goes to her.
What? Oh, the one you're holding?
Here we go. You can kind of see, like, you know, this piece right here was just like that. You can see that texture on there, and you can see that banding in it. Look at that. A nice chunky little one. So stromatolites are pretty cool because it is a fossil. Technically a trace fossil, right? Why these are neat is because they are the reason that I'm breathing, you're breathing, and yeah, they created all the oxygen, pretty much. That's what's neat about them. They are well, how to say this? I'm not a stromatolite expert, but I did read the first 20 pages of a book on stromatolites. Stromatolites are a microorganism. They're a bacteria, cyanobacteria, and they pretty much are a thin, gross film that is in a tidal zone, you know, like shallow water that can, you know, get light. And they're some of the first things to photosynthesize, and well, yeah, they're uptaking like other chemicals and farting out oxygen, and that's what they did. And as sediment would land on them, the bacteria would move up through that sediment, cement that sediment down, so now they're on top again. And yeah, that's basically it. They're like a green, purplish green cyanobacteria. And yeah, they existed all around the world, and now they only exist in a couple of places. The real notable one is Australia. However, there's a living stromatolite in the Great Salt Lake, which maybe we'll go check that out at some point. That should be pretty fun. And yeah, it takes a good polish. You know, if you're familiar with different lapidary materials, the Mary Ellen jasper is a stromatolite. The Kona dolomite is a stromatolite. So we're going to walk around, we're going to pick some of these up. I would like to find some pieces to cut in both orientations. Think about it like this. These things are growing in these stacking layers. So if you cut it in the vertical orientation, you get to see all of those layers. And if you cut it in the horizontal orientation, you're like lopping the layers off, at which point you can kind of see like rings and stuff. Because there's three main kind of categories of these things, which is also kind of cool that we get. There's ones that are like really shallow that get exposed to oxygen as the tide goes out. There's ones that are a little bit lower in the water, and then there's ones that are more grow a big column. So I don't know what we have here. Like I said, I read the first 20 pages of a book. It was a pretty good book though. It's this book right here, and I'll put a link down below to it, and I would recommend it. The guy seems cool. Wait, are you finding stromatolites?
I don't know. I thought you should tell me.
I'm too busy yapping and you're finding stuff.
I'm not not sure about
Yes, yes, that. Definitely that.
Okay.
That's awesome. That's a great piece.
I mean,
I can't wait to cut some of these.
yeah. These aren't stromatolites, but they're, I don't know if that's like, is there like a petrified wood or that's some sort of mineral forming like that?
I don't know what that is. We should take these though, and maybe we can answer that question.
Oh,
I think Sarah's going to try to hide in the shade with the dog. Let's go up here on this hill, see if we find anything. It's important to point out that where we're at right now is a Utah State Trust lands managed area, or I guess not managed, they're the owners of it. They do have a rock hunting permit system. If you go to the website, I'll have a link to it. It has gotten better in the past year. It used to be you had to submit a form with the exact range and township, and now they have like an interactive map and you can select where you want to go, which I like that. That's beneficial. It's nicer. I would like to get a permit just for everything all at once. In lieu of that, the new system is pretty good.
There seems to be a limit on how much you can permit at once, but it's unclear. The state is too much.
Yes.
That's what we found.
Piece of agate.
Yeah, it was very red. It really stood out.
Yeah. That's going to be cool when we cut that. I know these don't look like much now, but roll with me on this video, everybody. This is it's gonna look pretty good, I think. Pretty good. Dog's got her shady spot. Yeah, dig a hole, Leica. Dig. She's gonna wait till I turn the camera off to actually dig. When you start looking at all this black basalt in here, and then you see a piece, it really stands out when you see it looking just like that. I think that's going to be coming home.
This one, but it's just not a good shape to cut.
We can still cut it and do a little... I mean, part of this, I think, should be some investigation so that we know what these things look like. Oh, and you got a bunch of little pieces.
That's some kind of fossil, I think.
That is. That might be... Oh, you don't have a fanny pack to put the little...
Crystal.
Yeah.
The brightest red agate.
There's lots of little shards in here. Speaking of little shards of agate, not every little agate shard is an arrowhead or has been worked by man. People love to say that. And, well, you know, unless there was a arrowhead factory out here, I think they're just smashed up rocks. And, you know, people have their wishful thinking and their longing eyes for arrowheads and artifacts, but that's not what these are. These are just a chipped up rock. That one right there looks like a nice plate to me. Let's see what we got. Ooh, okay. That one's good. Nice. Nice bands on the side. Check that one out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's see what's above this little rise here. More desert. That's not stromatolite. That's stromatolite. Not really the place to be in the middle of summer. I'm pretty satisfied with this material. I mean, it seems pretty good. We kind of have, oh, 3/4 of a 2-gallon bucket. We're gonna high grade though. Let's sort this stuff. You wanna? I think right away, any of the pieces that have, yeah, like I think that's a good piece. You know, those larger pieces that I can cut, I think are ideal.
It's good one.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess you can cut here.
Yeah, let's take that one. Good question. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, water it down. Yeah, I don't know. That's a maybe.
I'd say no on this one.
I'd say no on that one as well. It's there for somebody else. We should take at least one of those kinds of pieces and we'll cut it. And we can, at the very least, we'll take some nice photos for the website. Ugh. That's a good one. That's good. We'll take that.
I don't know. Hard to tell.
Yeah, that one might have to be left behind.
This one, I don't know if you're really going to cut much.
Let's take that though. I like that one. Kind of shows the wavy pattern to it, which is good. That's a keeper.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. The round.
Yeah. There's a couple left in there.
Is this one?
Yeah.
Oh. This one is not a stromatolite, but I think it's some other type of fossil. I think if we look at that under the microscope, maybe it's some, we'll see something.
Sure.
I don't know
If it wasn't obvious, we're not exactly like fossil experts. Fossils are harder, way harder than rocks.
this is like that other one, but the other one was concave and this is convex or whatever. One goes out and one goes in.
Yeah. I mean, if there's just some little pieces, we can...
I thought,
Oop.
sorry.
She got you.
That's just agate.
Yeah. I mean, like all of Utah, seems like there's agate everywhere. Yes, that was one of the first ones that you found.
And I think the rest is kind of little that...
That's fine. We can take the little things.
That's got some good bands in it.
Yeah. Okay, so that's our little pile that we're taking home.
Let's say...
That's small enough. I think all of these things in there, we'll take them.
This thing. I don't know if that's fossil or... I feel like it is.
Yeah,
Let's look at the texture on that side.
We'll try to do a little sleuthing behind that.
Might just be like a fibrous mineral. No, I think it's a fossil. I don't know. I feel like it's fossil, but don't know.
We are back from the swell adjacent area where these stromatolites come from, and okay, fossils are hard. Fossils are hard, just kind of like, I guess, broadly speaking, right? Like, it can be a challenge. We have, like, I can't remember, it was like 3,600 minerals, something like that, most of which are like micro, hand-sized things that you can observe with your eyeballs, far fewer. And minerals are easy. Rocks are easy. Fossils are not easy. But that said, I think the stromatolites are pretty cool. This is the book that I've been reading, and if you're into stromatolites at all, this is a fabulous book, especially as somebody that's like stromatolite amateur like myself. Mm-hmm. So I'll put a link down below to that. These are the stromatolites that we collected. You might notice some of these are a little flatter right now because I did cut them. Let me grab a little bit of water here. And we can kind of really start to see how these guys are formed. You can see like the stacking nature of them, which is kind of cool. You can kind of see that really prevalent right there. And then I also cut this one. And these are pretty hard. Like, they're definitely going to take a polish. I obviously did not polish it before filming the end of this video, but you can kind of see that, like, that stack nature of it, which is cool, and I like that. We did find some other stuff. Right now, looking under the microscope, which is off camera, you can see this. What is that, Sarah?
I mean, it looks like some kind of fossil, but it's very small.
Yeah, I would not...
Generic to me.
This is that rock that you're looking at right there. Okay? And I do not know what the heck is happening there with that. Remember what I said, fossil amateurs? Fossil amateurs. Fossils are really hard. A lot of things have lived across the time of Earth. So, yeah, like that is not a mineralogical, geological formation that you're looking at there. That is something else.
Something.
Yeah, so if you have any tips or any leads even, like, could you point us in a direction? That would be pretty good. But we also have just like some cool little pieces, like, maybe what we should do is we should take one of these stromatolite fossils, and if we go to the Great Salt Lake where there's still currently living stromatolites, we can be like, here's your distant relative, buddy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think they'll appreciate it very much, but yeah, they definitely have a lapidary use, which is interesting. A lot of fossils do not.
Yeah.
A lot of fossils, it's like you can collect them and enjoy them, but these have, like fortification agates are pretty like popular, right? Like people like agates with like banding and fortification. And what is that? That's bands, that's lines. You can create interesting patterns with it. And similar to this here, we have bands and patterns that we can cut and produce something interesting with. So it's kind of like a neat different aspect to fossils that you don't typically get. Because, I guess the other one that is popular is dino bone. Like gem gray dinosaur bone, where the cells of the dinosaur bone have been replaced with chalcedony, and now you have like gem gray dinosaur bone.
But then it's less of dinosaur bone and just chalcedony.
Accurate.
I mean, it was a bone, so it's not quite the same
But
thing.
Yeah, I think a lot of this stuff is just going to look pretty cool as we cut and polish it. Now, obviously, I'm not going to cut and polish every single thing that we collect for every single video, and the way to stay up on this, if you're watching this in the future, is the website, currently rockhounding.com. There's a link down to this locality on the website, and as I process material over the coming amount of time, well, I update it. So go check that out. This is a thing that you're looking at on the microscope.
I don't know if it's a fossil. Some kind of fossil. It does have this texture on the side, which, hold on, I don't know, will show too well. Yeah. I'm out of my my pay grade here. If we were talking thunder eggs, zeolites, I'm good with that. And other rocks. Probably something, but don't know what.
Well, what did you think of it? Any thoughts on that location?
It was neat. Like, it seemed like it was just kind of came out of the middle of nowhere all of a sudden, and then it kind of seemed like it ended. Like it was a real small deposit. As
far as we know, when you kind of crest the hill there, I guess they'd be looking to the west, there's just like more hills and more hills, which we did not explore. So this could be the top tier of material or the bottom tier of material. And, it could also be isolated. We don't really know. If you go out there, though, drop a comment down below and, let me know. Like, I appreciate the insight that people have to offer on these things. So, cool. Well, I would go back there and spend a little bit more time. It'd be toasty out there in the summer. So yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. And I will catch you in the next video.